Hey guys, today I will be teaching you Machiavelli. Machiavelli belonged to the region presently called Italy. He belonged to the time when medieval age was coming to end and modern age was about to begin. Machiavelli is called as child of Renaissance who said Lusky. The most famous book of Machiavelli is The Prince. Introduction of The Prince. The Prince is the known as best book ever written in field of statecraft. Statecraft is how to run the state. Comparison. Plato versus Machiavelli. If Plato deal with philosophy of state, Machiavelli deal with art of politics. Philosophy of state. Machiavelli deal with art of politics. How Machiavelli described statecraft. Statecraft is management of power. Since Machiavelli gives power view of politics, he is known as father of political realism. Who is father of political realism? Machiavelli. Why? Because he has given power view of politics. Every thinker is child of his time. In this description suits Machiavelli the most. What was happening during his time? It was age of Renaissance. Renaissance has led to lot of change in all aspect of life. Some of the byproduct of Renaissance led to growth and reason. Reason led to growth of science. If medieval age is the age of religion, dark age, modern age is age of science. Modern age lead to rolling back of religion, which means secularization of society. God is confined to personal sphere. Akbar didn't learn the philosophy. He knew statecraft, hence one of the best ruler. Philosopher king versus prince. Philosopher king philosophy करता है, प्रिंस स्टेटक्राफ्ट रैशनैलिटी साइंस टेक इंडस्ट्री लीड टू कैपिटलिज्म नेशनल स्टेट. पहले रैशनैलिटी आएगा, फिर साइंस आएगा, उससे फिर टेक एंड इंडस्ट्री आएगा, फिर कैपिटलिज्म आएगा, फिर नेशन स्टेट आएगा. इन इंडिया नो सेपरेशन ऑफ स्टेट एंड रिलीजियन. India secularism not strict. यूरोप सेकुलरिज्म स्ट्रिक्ट. यूरोप में बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट सेकुलरिज्म फॉलो होता है और इंडिया में स्ट्रिक्ट सेकुलरिज्म फॉलो नहीं होता है. ठीक है. इन Machiavelli we see separation of church and state. Thus, he is originator of concept of European model of secularism. Father of European secularism. Why? Because he is originator of concept of European model of secularism. Because at that time separation of church and state was happening. Reason also led to the scientific revolution. Scientific revolution led to industrialization. Industrialization led to capitalism. Capitalism led to materialism, individualism, utilitarianism. Capitalism also led to emergence of nationalism, same which is given in this here. uh, Same it is explained here. Rationality gives science, then science gives tech and industry, tech and industry give capitalism, capitalism gives nation state. That is why once capitalism led to materialism, individualism, utilitarianism, capitalism also emerged as a nation state. Capitalism, nationalism, imperialism, military. In India, religious neutrality, differentiated citizenship, Buddhism, better form of Hinduism without its evil. Hinduism, better form of Hinduism without its evil. Symbol, Sarnath, Nehru influence, deconstruction, any of our understanding can be misunderstanding. ठीक है. Neither in theory nor in practice do we have separation of state and religion. In India, neither in the theory nor in practice we have separation of state and religion. Gandhi didn't believe in separation of religion, state and religion. State and neither in theory nor in practice we have separation of state and religion. Gandhi didn't believe in state and religion separation but in equal treatment in religion. Europe secularism based on universal citizenship, uniform civil code, no interference of church in state. Nationalism debate, Indian secularism, Gandhian Ashokan model, Sarvdham, Vatican city, city state expectation in Italy, religious center, consumer India, then only elite culture, now mass culture. Every thinker represent interest of particular section of the society. So Machiavelli represent emerging bourgeoisie or capitalist class. Machiavelli was champion of nationalism. Who was champion of nationalism? Machiavelli was champion of nationalism. Perspective of Machiavelli as a thinker. How was Machiavelli as a what was the perspective of Machiavelli as a thinker? Okay, he is a realistic. Realism is a power view of politics. Realistic are also known as child of darkness. He is a materialistic. He believed that matter is a real. He believed that man is a materialistic by nature. He is elitist. He make difference between prince and common man. Machiavelli methodology. If Plato believed that kings should have knowledge of philosophy, Machiavelli believed that prince should have knowledge of human psychology and history. Okay, why? Machiavelli का पर्पस क्या था? He belonged to the time when nation state had started emerging in Europe. He belonged to the region known as Italy. Italy had not emerged as a nation state. It was divided among 5 principalities. They were fighting among themselves. Hence, Italy was vulnerable to external attack. Hence, Machiavelli wanted consolidation of Italy and emergence of Italy as a nation state. Italy was once the most advanced region, but during his time it has become most corrupt society. Italy was once the most advanced region, but during his time it became the most corrupt society. Italy was seat of Roman Church. By that time church had also become corrupt. Church had also become corrupt institution. Church had also become corrupt institution. There was impact of corruption of church on the people. Machiavelli had first-hand experience of politics. He belongs to Flo- he belonged to the Florence. He served in different political office. He even served as a diplomat in court. The time of Cordelia Machiavelli दोनों सेम टाइम में था इंडियन मैकियावेली of King of France. He was addressed as a Mr. Nihilio Zero. It means he come from place which had no respect among state in Europe. Machiavelli was a great patriot. He wanted his motherland to regain its glory. Machiavelli was against two sections: feudal lord, aristocracy, and church. Machiavelli was against two sections: feudal lord, feudal lord, church. Why against church? Corruption. Church was also major factor behind lack of unification in Italy. Church was playing with one king against other. Content of the prince contains set of instruction for any enterprising person who want to become power and consolidate his power. Why enterprising person? Machiavelli was against feudalism. Feudalism is a system based on birth. Machiavelli was against feudalism. Feudalism is a system based on birth. Machiavelli represents psychology of emerging capitalist class. Instruction given by Machiavelli on the nature of profession. Since the prince is entering into politics, he must understand the type of profession politics is. Instruction given by Machiavelli on the nature of profession. Since prince is entering into politics, he must understand the type of profession politics is. One who sacrifices what is for what ought to be will not only ruin himself but will also bring destruction to his own people. Listen again. One who sacrifices what is for what ought to be will not only ruin himself but will also bring destruction to his own people. जो है उसको नहीं स्वीकार करने के बदला क्या होना चाहिए उस पर जो ध्यान देगा वो खुद का तो नाश करेगा ही करेगा, वो अपने लोग का भी नाश करेगा. ओके. How we live in far removed from how we ought to live. How we live is far removed from how we ought to live. How we live is far removed from how we ought to live. One who tries to find goodness in every profession must necessarily come to grief as we live with so many people who are not so good. Machiavelli. One who tries to find goodness in every profession must necessarily come to grief as we live with so many people who are not so good. Introduction. Prince is the best book ever written in field of statecraft. It contains set of advice by Machiavelli to the political entrepreneur with respect to various aspects of field of politics. In Evo's statement, we can see beginning of political realism. Machiavelli introduced nature of profession in Prince, what quality Prince should possess to be successful in profession. Politics, not ethics, not goodness, risky wolf, Indian, realistic in domestic, idealist in international. Our culture and attitude not professional enough. We need we need wicked bad people in politics to tackle wolf, clever like fox, brave like lion, and justifies mean. Offense is defense. Offense is defense. Attack first, win. Eye for eye. Explanation. Unlike Plato, whose philosopher king lives in the world of ideas, Machiavelli wants his prince to look at the things as they are rather than as they should be. According to him, if prince sacrifice what is for what ought to be, he will certainly harm not only himself but his own people. According to Machiavelli, politics is not ethics. Politics is uninspiring, yet it is the fact. In politics, Prince will meet such people who are not good, hence, Prince shouldn't try to find goodness in every profession. If he will try to find goodness in politics, he is bound to disappoint and may get hurt, hence, Prince should know how to be bad rather than how to be good. Critical evolution. Machiavelli is one of the most criticized figure in history of Western political philosophy. It is irony that he was criticized for telling truth. According to Dunning, it is a paradox. Machiavelli is one of the most criticized figure in the history of Western philosophy. It is irony that he was criticized for telling the truth. According to Dunning, it is a paradox. That everyone is Machiavellian in politics, but none accept himself to be Machiavellian. Machiavelli is one of the most criticized figure in the theory of Western political philosophy. It is an irony that he was criticized for telling the truth. According to Dunning, it is a paradox that everyone is a Machiavellian in politics, but none accept himself to be Machiavellian. One of the major critics of Machiavelli is Sabine. According to him, Machiavelli thoughts are narrowly dated and narrowly located. किसके द्वारा? Sabine के द्वारा. Narrowly dated, narrowly located. Thus, according to Sabine, Machiavelli gives very pessimistic view of politics because of his experience in conditions prevailing in Italy in his time. Had he belonged to some other time and space, his view would be different. It is true that Machiavelli idea is a product of his time, but it would not be correct to say Machiavelli idea lack universalism, space, and transcendentalism time. Transcendentalism on human nature. Man is selfish, ungrateful, coward, fearful, avaricious, extremely greedy, deceitful. Why? Survival of the survival of the fittest, smart plus survival of the fastest. Sorry, survival of the fastest, smart plus fast. If not realistic, be pragmatic but never idealistic. Pragmatic means जो practical हो. Pak are professional than Indian. Nam not an end but only means. We must be adaptive. जस्टिस वर्सेस पावर. जस्टिस एक आइडिया है, पावर रियलिटी है. जस्टिस इज इंटरेस्ट ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग. जस्टिस एक आइडिया है, पावर रियलिटी है. इंट्रोडक्शन. प्रिंस इज द बेस्ट बुक. इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ सेट ऑफ सेम एज प्रीवियस इंट्रो. In the above statement, Machiavelli has given advice to Prince on human nature. Why such advice? Prince has to be deal human. He must understand human nature as it is rather than. Prince think it should be what is basics of human view on human nature. According to him, history is the best guidance to the politics. According to him, history is the best guidance to the politics. By whom? Machiavelli. History is the best guidance to the politics. History is the best guidance to the politics. On the basics of observation from his time, as found in the history, he gives his view on human nature. On the basics of observation from his time, he found in history, he gives his view on human nature. According to Machiavelli, throughout human history, human nature has remained constant. Elemental characteristics of human natures are: man is a selfish by nature. Since man is a selfish, he always gives primacy to his own interest. Since man is a selfish, he always gives primacy to his own interest over interest of prince. Since man is a selfish, man is a ungrateful. Since man is a selfish, man is a ungrateful. He will forget the favor done by him by prince in case his interest demands so. Since man is a selfish, he always gives primacy to his own interest over the interest of prince. Since man is a selfish, man is a ungrateful. He will forget the favor done to him by prince in case of his interest demands so. Since man is a selfish, man is a fickle minded. It can easily change the side. The above analysis show that prince cannot take support of any person as a granted. He should always careful as anyone can betray him anytime. Man is a coward by nature. Man is a coward by nature. Since man is a coward, he is also fearful. He is a fearful of fearful. He is fearful or insecure by nature. Though the quality like selfishness go against interest of prince, the qualities like cowardness, insecurity can be manipulated by his own advantage. So long prince is able to convince only he can provide security of life, people will oblige to the prince. Man is a coward by nature. Since man is a coward, he is fearful or insecure by nature. Though the quality like selfishness go against interest of prince, the qualities like cowardness, insecurity can be manipulated to his own advantage. So long prince is able to convince only he can provide security of life, people will oblige to prince. Man is a avaricious, extremely greedy. Man is a materialistic by nature. He has love for property. Hence, if prince create condition where people make money or earn property, then people will remain loyal to the prince. Machiavelli also suggests that wise prince never confiscate, he rather execute. A wise prince never confiscate, he rather execute. It means prince should never take property of other person. It is better to kill him rather than take his property. Why man forgot the loss of his father but will never forget the loss of his patrimony. Machiavelli will advise prince not to touch women of citizen because men are possessive of their women. Critical evolution. According to Savin, Machiavelli gives such pessimistic view of human nature because his experience in Italy of his time. According to Savin, Machiavelli ideas are narrowly dated, narrowly located. It is true that Machiavelli's description of human nature is one-sided. However, it is very important for Prince to know it is true that Machiavelli's description of human nature is one-sided. However, it is very important for Prince to know the dark aspect of human nature. Though Machiavelli has given one-sided view, none can say that this one-sided nature is entirely wrong. What quality Prince should have? Prince has to be clever like fox, brave like lion. Best book. Set of advice. Above advice is especially about the qualities the prince possesses. Explanation. Machiavelli statecraft is based on understanding human psychology and experience of history. On the basis of his mode of analysis, Machiavelli suggested possesses qualities like fox and lion. Prince must understand politics is not a profession of goodness. In politics, people are not good. Hence, Prince must be clever like fox to understand traps and conspiracy. Similarly, he wanted Prince to be brave like lion to defend himself from wolves. Reason and courage are considered to be two internal qualities of guardian classes. Whether we look at Plato or Aristotle or Machiavelli, his hold true. If Plato talks reason and courage, Machiavelli is more direct and explicit in telling which type of courage and why. Even in contemporary time, we see that relevance of his advice because no state will be able to maintain itself without sound intelligence and defense. Critical evolution. According to Seven, Machiavelli is narrowly dated and narrowly located. It is true that Machiavelli was child of his time, yet it would not be rational if we ignore his advice. Machiavelli is realistic because for the reality of world of politics his advice cannot be ignored. On the management of power, how prince should rule. It is better for prince to be feared than to be loved. Intro, same explanation. According to Machiavelli, statecraft is the art of management of power. What is statecraft? Statecraft is the art of management of power. Statecraft is art of management of power. Statecraft is art of management of power. Prince should know the proper use of power, which form of power, when and where. According to Machiavelli, Prince should be cold-blooded man. He should not act with a passion. His actions should be based on calculative options. According to Machiavelli, power has two dimensions, force and love. According to him, Prince should choose the option of force only after proper calculation. Force should not be first option. However, Prince has to ultimately rely on force Force should not be first option because it requires lot of resources. When Prince decided to use force, he should use it completely to crush the enemy, not leave him alive to take revenge. Revenge is a powerful sentiment. On role of ethics in politics. Role of ethics in politics. In politics, and justifies mean. Significance of this statement. Today this statement has become most defining element of Machiavellism. In the history of Western political philosophy, no other thinker has been criticized as a Machiavelli, primarily because of separation he make between politics and ethics. He has explained relationship between politics and ethics. He suggested that politics is independent of ethics. Why above advice? According to Machiavelli, no goal is superior than preservation and promotion of national interest, not even religion of prince or his moral belief. In politics, prince is not only supposed to take advice in best interest of nation but also timely decision. Know of the time of religion. Number of time our religion or ethics may create dilemma for prince. He may not be able to take decision required for the purpose. Hence, he suggests that politics is not ethics. It is independent of ethics. Political action cannot be judged by parameter or standard of ethics. Particularly, action may be ethically wrong but politically correct. Thus, politics has its own morality. He invented concept of dual morality. Dual morality, prince, is very different from morality of a common man. Common man can sacrifice himself for sake of his principle. Prince cannot sacrifice interest of his nation for sake of his belief. In politics, and justifies mean. If prince is successful in achieving national interest, none will question the righteousness of mean. However, if prince sacrifice national interest for sake of purity of mean, no will be able to excuse him for his guilty. Machiavelli was criticized by Gandhi. Gandhi called Western civilization based on Machiavellism or as a satanic. Gandhian emphasized on purities of mean. In his book Hind Swaraj, he was written that it is illogical to expect rose flower by sowing the seed of babul. According to Gandhi, politics without ethics and religion is a dead trap. According to Gandhi, politics without ethics and religion, politics without ethics and religion is a dead trap. According to Gandhi, politics without ethics and religion is a dead trap. To sum up, we can say that Gandhi is a idealistic, Machiavelli is a realistic. As far as domestic politics is concerned, it is important that ruling class emphasize on purities of mean. But as far as international politics is concerned, we cannot ignore Machiavelli. Machiavelli on religion. He was against church. He was against church only because church was corrupt at that time. Church was interfering in politics, proving as obstacle in achieving national interest. Machiavelli believed religion can be useful for prince. Thus Machiavelli has utilitarian approach toward religion. What is the utility? Religion is a disciplinary force which can be great help to the prince. Many persons do not commit wrong things out of fear of God. He suggests prince to be appear religious in public, even if prince has no faith in religion. Thus, for Machiavelli, religion should not use the prince, but prince should be in position to use religion for national interest. Note: Machiavelli represents interest of bourgeoisie or capitalist class. Capitalist class may have limited role in religion but haven't eliminated it. On other hand, Marx is a critic of religion and God. Was Machiavelli immoral? No, he does not suggest prince to be immoral in the personal sphere. He only permits prince to ignore ethics as far as national interest is concerned. Hence, it is better to call Machiavelli amoral rather than immoral, as he was indifferent toward morality. Machiavelli advised Prince for emphasized foreign policy. Expensist. Machiavelli advised Prince for expensist foreign policy. He was the first person to suggest Prince should have army compromising of only nation. In case of conquered land, Machiavelli suggests that Prince should rule directly only if the culture of people of land is similar to that culture of Prince. Otherwise, Prince should select some local person as his lieutenant or viceroy. On fortune. He defined fortune as a circumstance which are not under one's control. He defined fortune in terms of bad luck. He suggests that even prince has all qualities will worse his statecraft. Yet there is no guarantee that he will be successful. Bad time can strike anyone anywhere. When bad time comes, it comes like torrential rain or roaring river. Wise prince always do preparation like creating embankment. However, still it can devastate the prince. He suggests that nature of fortune is like woman. Woman embarrass brave man. Hence, if prince will face this time with courage, he can convert bad time into favorable time. This shows Machiavelli is a realistic but at the same time optimistic. Critical evolution of Machiavelli. Machiavelli is a narrowly dated, narrowly located savant. Machiavelli is one of the most criticized figures in the history of Western political philosophy. He is primarily criticized for his view on religion and ethics, especially his criticism of church. Savin believed that his pessimistic view on human nature, church politics is because of circumstances prevailing in Italy during his time. His view would be different if he had belonged to different time and space. It is true that Machiavelli was child of his time. However, it is not means that his thought are lacking any universal and transcendental value. Machiavelli is not only one of the most criticized figure but one of the most unfortunate figure. It is unfortunate that Machiavelli was telling the reality of politics. According to Dunning, it is an irony that everyone is a Machiavellian in politics, but no one accepts himself as a Machiavellian. Even Machiavelli ideas are one-sided. It is important to understand the darkest human nature and politics. Machiavelli thought are not only having practical importance but also huge academic importance. He laid foundation of political realism. His empirical method also led to emergence of behavioral method in political science. We can see his influence on philosophers like Hobbes. He is intellectual precursor of realistic school of international politics. Machiavelli as a child of his time, Renaissance. Every thinker is a child of his time. This statement suits best for Machiavelli than anyone. Lasky called Machiavelli child of Renaissance. Define Renaissance and related development. When the tendency of his times are related in the work of Machiavelli, Machiavelli advocacy for primacy of national interest. Secularism, separation of church and state politics. मतलब capitalism. He criticized feudal lord. His description of human nature as materialistic love for property. Scientific revolution. Machiavelli tell to look at the thing as they are. Major idea in his book Discourse. Let's see. देखो मैकेवेली एडवाइस किया प्राइमेसी ऑफ नेशनल इंटरेस्ट ऊपर है. सेकुलरिज्म, चर्च और स्टेट को सेपरेट कर दिया. कैपिटलिज्म, फ्यूडल लॉर्ड को हेट करता था. और ह्यूमन नेचर क्या है, मेटेरियलिस्टिक लव फॉर प्रॉपर्टी. साइंटिफिक रिवॉल्यूशन, मतलब जैसा है वैसा एक्सेप्ट करो. और इसका बुक था डिस्कोर्स. In his book, The Prince, Machiavelli supported monarchy. In discourse, he proposed republic government like Plato politics. In society where people are corrupt, he suggests rule of prince who is with iron hand. मतलब जहाँ पे करप्शन है वहाँ पे प्रिंस आयरन हैंड से रूल करे. वेयर पीपुल आर virtuous with civic sense, he recommend republic. According to Machiavelli, wherever necessary, monarchy, wherever possible, republic, but in no situation, oligarchy or aristocracy. He does not prefer the rule of noble or feudal lord. This also shows the impact of his time. Machiavelli as a scholar of emerging capitalist class. He considered feudal lord as a parasite class. He advised Prince that in case of conflict between noble and common man, Prince should take the side of common man. Noble will have inspiration for power, hence they are challenged to the king. Common men have limited aspiration, protection of life, property, hence they will be not threat to the king. Thank you.